boy, just be yourself. If people don't like it if you're being yourself, fuck them.
Big Los,
Hollywood Kev,
and welcome to another episode of The Noize on Hart Radio. Make sure y'all get out and follow us on the big three, Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook at The Noize Podcast. Very important reason that you should follow us this time around is because we are doing a All I Want for Christmas giveaway. That's right, people. This is actually a competition. And what we want people to do is follow us on the big three, or whichever one is more dominant to you. And on one of those sites, or all three of them, to kind of help your chances, we want you to post, whether it could be a video, it could be a picture, or it could just be a general status. We want you to post what you would want for Christmas. Now, you know, you could be a philanthropist and say world peace or whatever, or you could just be real and be like, I want a Jag. You know what I'm saying? Something, you know, just something. We want you to post something. Whoever gets the most likes, engagements, or whatever you want to call it, is going to win. What we're giving away, we have our Noize 90 shirt. If you haven't seen that shirt, it's basically the Martin logo with our name in it. We're also doing our unfiltered and unapologetic shirt, and you're also going to get a Noize coffee mug. So this is a really dope giveaway.
Yeah.
Something for the free.
Yeah, that's a solid giveaway.
It's a solid giveaway.
That's for just putting up status, doing something you already do. That's a solid giveaway.
All you got to do is just get people, now with that actual status, picture, video, whatever it's going to be, let us know what it is that you want for Christmas, or one thing you would love to see for Christmas, and make sure you tag The Noize wherever you post this at. On Facebook, you can tag The Noize Podcast, Instagram at The Noize Podcast, Twitter at The Noize Podcast.
Yeah, that's going to be fun. I'm interested to see who wins.
I really want to see. And whoever wins, y'all got to take a picture with all the shirts.
And the mug.
And drinking something from the mug. I don't know how you can wear two shirts at one time, but I feel like if this was the 90s, you'd have figured that shit out.
Yeah.
Anyway, Kev, how are you, sir?
I'm tired, bro. I'm just tired. All I want to do is go to sleep.
I'm right there with you.
I don't want to be talked to. I don't want to be bothered. I just want to go to sleep.
One thing I've noticed is we've been doing these shows on Sunday for like the last few weeks.
No, last week was Saturday.
Was it Saturday?
Last week was
You're
Saturday.
right. It was. Well,
Prior to that,
we've been doing Sunday a lot.
Yeah.
There's a lot going on, people.
Niggas is tired, man.
But at least y'all get the show every Sunday still. And again, we appreciate you guys sticking in with us.
Absolutely.
My week was busy as hell.
Really?
Like busy.
Just because of the holidays coming busy?
I wish. No, it's just been work.
All right.
I actually been working on a lot of things for Beat as well. So there's a lot of sleep getting sacrificed.
Gotcha.
Man, at this point, a solid vacation would be too dope.
Yes.
Somewhere with a beach,
Somewhere
some
where
sun.
some warm. It's warm.
get some
Get
warmness.
some warm. Yeah. Because I'm not feeling this cold, and then this Vegas wind out of nowhere last night. I'm good.
Oh, bro, let me tell you about my case of the death yesterday. So anybody that knows me know that I have an old sports injury on my knee. So I can tell when it rains, just like anybody else with fucked up knees.
Yeah.
Also, I have the shittest allergies known to man. So it's like my allergies are almost like a fucking alarm clock. Yesterday, we had crazy overcast in the morning.
Yeah, it was.
So I'm asleep. And you know when your allergies kick in and you start getting that, and you breathe in.
That whistling noise.
That whistle that you can't really put your finger on. You're like, my lungs ain't supposed to do that. But that's the issue that I was dealing with in the morning. It woke me up at like 8:30 in the morning. I couldn't breathe for shit. Had to go get, I'm about to throw this shit on and go to the corner store and get a Claritin. So I go get an allergy pill. As soon as I walk outside, I'm like, this is the shit I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Look up and it's that wet cold, you know how overcast is. And I'm like, this is why I was dying this morning. Listen, if you have allergies out there, just know Big Los feels for you. This shit kills me every day.
Yeah, I would love to be in like South Beach somewhere.
Oh, hell yeah.
Hawaii or something.
I would love to be in South Beach for my birthday. I know I tried it before. And then you know, if you listen to the show, you've heard me bitch about this a few times.
Yeah.
But we definitely got to make that trip to South Beach. I don't know, maybe for the 30th.
Yeah.
I feel like with black people, if I start planning now, we got 2 years. If we start planning now, there's a strong possibility we can at least get 3 people to go.
Yeah. I was going to say, because it dwindles as it gets closer to the
That's why I'm going
date.
to start out with a solid 50-person invite list. That's why I said by the time we get there next year, in 2020, it'll be 3 people.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
20. See, this is how you know my ass is old and decrepit.
No, not
2019,
2019.
right?
I was 31 then.
Leave me the hell alone, okay?
Yeah, that's what we're doing this morning. See, look, I am fucked up today, dog.
Hopefully y'all are just as fucked up as we are.
Yeah.
Because, I wish we could blame this on being like hungover or something. We didn't do shit last night. Well, we went to work.
I didn't do nothing.
If I was drunk at work, that's a whole different issue. So it's a good thing I'm not hungover today. But y'all just rock with us. Anyway, before we get into the show, I want to give a big shout out to Michael Che. If you're not familiar with who Michael Che is, he is a black comedian, works for SNL, and after 43 seasons.
Bruh. Now, I watched SNL last night, and when I was scrolling through, I'm like, 43 seasons? Jesus Christ.
43 seasons,
43 seasons.
The reason that we're emphasizing 43 seasons is because after 43 seasons, they finally hired their first black head writer in Michael Che.
Yeah.
So big up to Michael Che. I posted about this the other day. He's opening the door for black creatives, especially at Saturday Night Live.
Absolutely.
Now, will they Obama this nigga afterwards and just close the door? Who knows? But
I think it'll depend on his success. If their show starts seeing a higher engagement, the sketches seem a little bit better, then maybe not.
And Michael Che is hilarious.
Yeah.
So I do see all of that happening.
Yeah. He has that that traditional humor, if you will, that most comedians have, but he also has that I'm gonna say some shit that y'all probably think I shouldn't say.
They say it with a straight face. At that.
Yeah. I like that about him.
But yeah, again, this is a huge move because SNL is probably one of the longest weekly episodic shows that we've had in entertainment.
Yeah.
43 seasons is crazy. Like, you look back at fucking the original cast. Like, by the time we were experienced with Garrett Morris, he was already old. And for those who don't know, Garrett Morris is the guy that plays Stan on Martin. But by the time we were able to know who that man is, he was old.
Yeah.
He's one of the original cast members of SNL. And that goes way back. Chevy Chase, like the whole 9. 43 seasons, and we finally have a black head co-writer. But, as black people, we got to know. He's black. He's head writer.
He's head writer.
Don't worry about the co. To actually get to this place, it really does open the door for black creatives because it shows that we at least come with great ideas.
Right.
We come with great ideas. We come with a different mindset, and a different look at things that, just to be honest, a lot of white people don't look at. So it opens up the comedy element a little more.
Yeah, and I also think it give, like, we're more in tune with the people.
Right.
You know what I mean? Granted, you do have some people, them CEOs are black or whatever, that may not be in touch, but for the better half of the black comedians are in tune with the people. They know what they like.
Definitely.
You know what I mean? I'm not sure if he's active on social media or not, but I would expect to see a lot more relatable sketches.
Right.
To come to the future.
And what's crazy? I'm pretty sure, I haven't even looked into it that much as far as social media is concerned, but I'm pretty sure there's a shit ton of people just going off about the fact that Michael Che is in there trying to disguise it as if it's not because he's black. I'm pretty sure that's there.
Yeah,
but
the jig is up, man.
Exactly.
We know it's because we Negroes. We get it.
Bro, Skylar, he always says, I like my racism up front and in my face. So just be real. Just call him a nigga and keep it moving. But one thing that makes me excited about it is when we're in these positions, a lot of people misconstrue our intentions. They would think that it's going to be straight up, it's going to be nothing but black sketches. It's going to be nothing but, stuff about racism and stuff like that. Look at the episode of SNL when Dave Chappelle hosted. Dave Chappelle actually came aboard as a writer for that episode.
Really?
Which was brilliant on his part.
Yeah.
Because you look, he did that Walking Dead skit where he was killing off all his characters from the Chappelle show. So that the symbolism was crazy, but it was still hilarious.
Yep.
And everyone could enjoy it. He didn't really have even if you want to call it a race-related sketch, because it really wasn't race-related. It was art. It was the shit that SNL always talk about, and that's Trump in the election.
Yeah, I mean, because I actually watched a couple episodes of Saturday Night Live last night, and I noticed that usually the open sketch is a political sketch.
Right.
You know what I mean? I think even with the Dave Chappelle one, I don't know about the Walking Dead one. I can't remember if it was the first sketch or the second sketch. If it was the first sketch and the second sketch, it was a political sketch.
Right. Right.
You know what I mean? So they do have that theme. I like what they're doing. From what I've seen the newest episode, they give you a little bit of everything. They give you some political. They give you some racism. They give you some, this shit is just funny. I like that.
You know, and this may be my black bias, but every time there is a black entertainer that's heavily involved in the black community, those are like the best episodes of Saturday Night Live. And I've heard that from white people. I've heard that from Asians. I've heard that from everyone, you know what I mean? But it sticks out the most to me because I am black. Like when Chance did it, I've never laughed so hard. The last time I laughed that hard was when Chappelle did it.
I was going to watch that
for
one.
SNL.
I fell asleep. I didn't finish that.
I didn't make it. I say all that to say, bringing in black creatives expands the genre.
Right.
And it gives you opportunity to see things from a different light, even if it's not coming, even if it's not a shining on the black side. It's just giving you a different measure of comedy. It's giving you more opportunity. You can't keep having the same talking heads making the same shit, because then shit gets stale. You get used to it. So I say all that to say, big up Michael Shea, co-head writer for SNL. It's gonna be a good 2018 for black people.
I think so too. I think we can carry this momentum to the next year and really make people mad next year.
Oh yeah, that's like the solid plan right there, baby. Speaking of good years, 2017 has sucked. We talked about it before, but one thing that we've gotten out of 2017 is some really good music. We got some shit. We got some straight dog shit, but we've got some gems in between.
Yeah, I can agree with that.
Now, with that, we also had some excitement for some albums. And to me, I've been let down by a few. I don't know how you feel about it. We could definitely talk about it here. Before we get to Eminem and Revival, I do want to follow up on our track list conversation.
Okay.
Since I actually had the opportunity to listen to the records that they released a track list for.
Okay.
And you said you didn't, right?
No, I heard the album.
You heard Revival.
Yeah.
But you didn't get a chance to listen to Pressure.
No, I haven't heard
and
Jeezy's
the Double
album
or
yet.
Nothing joint, right?
Yeah, I haven't heard Jeezy's or the or what's that boy's name?
Big Sean, Metro Boomin.
Yeah. I haven't heard that joint yet either.
I'll start there with Double or Nothing because it's short. It's trash.
All right.
I'm sorry. Big up Big Sean, man. I used to be like I said, I used to be a fan of some of his mixtape shit, and then he just started getting entirely too commercial. You know.
I can see that with him.
I'm cool with commercial hip hop. Like Kendrick now compared to where he was, he's commercial and he still kills it. So when I think about commercial, I want to hear that. I don't want to hear. It's because it sounds like he was trying. He was just trying too hard to be what's current while maintaining his natural ability. Big Sean and Metro Boomin shouldn't collab ever again. Maybe a track here and there, but a whole ass album, nah, you can dead that from here.
Are they like super close boys or something? What sparked this collab album? Like it seemed like it was random.
Probably money.
Money grab.
You gotta think about it, dude. Metro has surpassed everybody. Like if you look at it, you don't hear too much of Mike Will Made It anymore. You don't hear a lot of what's that other dude name? Zaytoven. And if you do hear Zaytoven, it's probably a super duper street mixtape. But as far as major visibility and major production, it's Young Metro. And if he don't trust you, he's gonna shoot you.
All right. Just incriminating itself all over the place.
That's what Future taught me.
So this album was trash.
The album was trash. It's really not much.
But I don't want to listen to it if it's trash.
Hey, it's like I said, I was going to give everybody a chance.
Nah, fuck that.
And,
if I know,
even though I said that, I also lied because I for sure didn't listen to the Quality Control tape.
No. Nope, wasn't doing it.
When I saw the cover art, I'm like, nigga, who made this on word art?
I'm not doing it. It's certain artists that if I'm invested in you, then I'll give you the time of day. You know what I mean? Even if it's something that I think may be trash, I'm not invested in Sean like that. Only songs that I've really heard and liked all get played on the radio or they came on the radio. So he's not somebody that I'm like, okay, let me go listen to this and give him a fair shot. No, I don't care.
He almost had me with Dark Skies Paradise. I didn't think that one was great. I didn't think it was bad though. And then he did the I Decided joint. And I was like, okay, So I'm like, you get one more chance with me, man. I think I'm done listening to Big Sean, man. I'm right there with you. If it's not a single, I'm probably not going to be interested.
Yeah.
But what album that did slap, that Pressure, Young Jeezy or just Jeezy.
I heard the Cole Kendrick track.
Fire.
Heard that track. Cole
Even though
that.
Cole gassed that, but just kind of a segue before getting into Jeezy's album. It is so hard to defend that J. Cole is not a boring rapper when he's spitting, and it's just like, I could see where people say that you're boring, even though I fucking love it. I could see where people say that you're boring.
I think far as his energy, but his energy in that track, he had energy in that track.
No, he had energy, but it's just like the subject matter. If you're not into it, or if you don't go in knowing what you're about to get out of a J. Cole record or a J. Cole verse, you're gonna be bored. And you gotta remember, we have a whole episode about it. We have lazy listeners. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But I don't think that's to J. Cole's fault. I think that's to the listeners' fault. They're just lazy. I don't think he. You know what I mean? I think they're just too lazy to listen to it, so they just rather call it boring and not have to deal with it.
Well, I think Cole's amazing. He's easily in my top 5 new generation niggas. But it's just sometimes it's hard to defend him.
Yeah, it is. It is. I mean, I can see where people do say he's boring, but I just think that's more to the listener's fault than it is to his.
Oh yeah, definitely. But getting back to Pressure, 1 through 13, man, there's literally no skippables on this album.
Really? Okay.
It's fire, dude. There are some records that aren't necessarily the bomb, but there's a throwback word for you. But there's definitely some records that don't really slap like that. But they're still good. They're still listen toable.
Gotcha.
If that could be a word.
Gotcha. It may not be one you go to when you put it on, but if it comes on,
you're not going to get up to go press next. Right, you know what I mean? Obviously, my favorite would be American Dream with J. Cole and Kendrick. Mm-hmm. I was very impressed by T Grizzly.
Really?
Yeah, he held his own with Jeezy. But then again, I never thought T Grizzly was a bad rapper. I just thought he was a very Detroit rapper, if that makes sense.
I'm not familiar with him too much, but I hear a lot of people talk about him. So I'm gonna just get it. I'm gonna definitely get his album. I'm more invested in Jeezy than I am Sean, of course.
No, it's definitely worth checking out. Like Them with Tory Lanez and Rick Ross, fire record. 2 Chainz was gassing floor seats.
He was mad he got
he was like, no, y'all gonna get a verse from me. Y'all gonna get a real ass verse from me.
Okay, yeah, I'm gonna listen to that then.
And big up 2 Chainz, man, because I feel like he's just been taking himself seriously lately.
Yeah.
I enjoyed, goofy animated 2 Chainz, but it's like now when he raps.
Yeah. And
me, I appreciate bars over everything.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, big up 2 Chainz. Pressure's definitely a solid listen, and I recommend anybody go out and go get that. If you got Apple Music, of course, is an easy click. If you don't, there may or may not be a website that you can get it from that you can Google. And, they may be able to look out for you. But, I'm not saying do that. I'm just saying it's a good chance that there is a site that you can go out and get it from. Now the track list that I want to have a conversation on. Revival, Eminem. You listen to Revival, correct?
Yeah.
I've already talked enough. You go ahead and go first.
Well, first I'd like to say, huge M Shady fan. Like if it came from Shady, that camp, I was on board with it. Mm-hmm. And I've kind of been that way. This album, I went in not really expecting much. I expected a pop album. I got a pop album. Outside of that, I really didn't expect too much. I think the ability to rap, if you can rap, would always be with you long as you live. You know what I mean? Even, for instance, people say Wayne fell off. Wayne may not be able to make a good song right now, but if you ask him to rap, the man can fucking rap.
Oh, yeah.
Simple and plain. That's how I feel about him in this album. the songs, some of them were actually well put together songs. My biggest takeaway from this album is that it wasn't for hip hop fans, and it sucks because the hip hop guy didn't make an album for hip hop fans, but this wasn't for us.
You think he did that intentionally?
Part of me thinks yes. I think part of it I think he did intentionally, and I'm gonna get into that. But the other part is I think he's a little bit behind in time. You know what I mean? You gotta remember there's a good chunk, an important chunk where he wasn't making any music. So I think part of it is that he's just a little bit behind. You know what I mean? As far as content goes. The other part is, yes, I do think he did it on purpose, and I think he did it on purpose because the casual hip hop fan, or not even the casual hip hop fan, the hip hop fan is generally in tune with what's going on in the world. You know what I mean? We don't need to be told that President Trump is a piece of shit.
Right.
We know that. However, on the flip side of that coin, you have other people that listen to him that may not be huge hip hop fans. They just like him.
Right.
And I think this album was for them. And I think this album was for them because he may be trying to get them on board with some of the thinking that a hip hop fan has and try to let them know, like, yo, y'all, if y'all supporting this guy, this is why it's fucked up and this is why we can't rock together. I think that was the general thought process behind this album, even down to some of the singles that he chose. He could have easily put out that track with Ed Sheeran as a single.
Oh, yeah, easy.
And some of the conversation about this album wouldn't have taken place. But instead, he chose a track with Beyonce and that Untouchable track. First time hearing that Untouchable track is when I listened to the album. And you can tell everybody that I hear say that they don't like the song is black.
Yeah, I don't like it.
That song was definitely not for black people. It wasn't for us.
It was for sure a message for white people.
Exactly. And I think that was the whole theme of this entire album. This entire album, the good portion of the album was a message to, I don't even want to say the general white people, because a lot of general white people who don't listen to him, but the white people that do. This was a message to them. And then those last 3 tracks where I think was him getting off the last bit of his truth. Mm-hmm. And I can't fault on nobody for that. If you're using your art to get off the last bit of your truth, I can't fault you for that. Mm-hmm. As weird as this, as I feel with this album, I'm interested to see what he does with this next project. This next project, I'm expecting pure hip hop. It's just funny to me that in this one he didn't do it. Like, this is the hip hop guy. He's your favorite rapper's favorite rapper, and he did not deliver in that aspect.
I agree. I'm a little more towards and we talked about it in the car. Mm-hmm. It's not a bad album, but it's definitely not a good album.
Yeah, it's not a good album, but it's not a bad album. He had some couple bars in there. I was like, okay. Couple songs like that Ed Sheeran song. So I was like, this shit flows.
Yeah, that Ed Sheeran record, and I said it on the show, so I'm glad I'm not a hypocrite. I was like, that's probably going to be the best record or the worst record.
Yeah,
that Ed Sheeran record is the best record on the entire project.
Yeah, absolutely.
I was surprised because I was going through the track list because I knew Rick Rubin was going to be.
Did he produce this?
He produced a lot on it.
Yeah, I felt like his footprints was everywhere.
My biggest thing is Rick Rubin and Alex the Kid. Every record that they produced was whack. The only one that was decent is the one that Rick Rubin and from what I'm seeing here now, Rick Rubin and Dr. Dre, they co-produced Remind Me. I thought that was decent. And I think that was because of Dr. Dre putting a little more of him in it than Rick Rubin. One thing about this album, and I preach it all the time, that made it not bad to me, is the fact that lyrically, this is the most Eminem we've gotten out of Eminem in a long time. We didn't get that, even though I'm a fan of his battle flow style, but this is the Marshall Mathers Eminem show type style, you know what I mean? He wasn't trying to throw too many words at you. He was just gassing. So I appreciated that. I felt like the production choices were just really fucking bad. And they didn't compliment his lyrical ability. And it kind of took attention away because Rick Rubin is a hip-hop pioneer that never dabbled in hip-hop. Rick Rubin has always been a rock star. You know what I mean?
Right.
So his influence being so heavy on this record, I think, had the negative effect.
I agree
I
with
was
you.
happy to see Dr. Dre, but I feel like M has been checking in with Rick Rubin a little more lately since Berserk. You know what I mean?
I agree with you with that. But that could go to the assessment that he this is what makes you think, did he purposely do that? Because he could have easily went to Dre and figure something out. But did he purposely do this? I agree with you though. Rick Rubin is definitely a rock star. A lot of his bigger hits, even though they may have had rappers on them, they were more of a rock-esque song.
His biggest hit was Beastie Boys, Five Here Right to Party.
Yeah. You know what I mean? So I think like you said, the lyrics, he did his part. He did his part there. Some of the beat choices were poor.
Very poor.
Some of the little shit he did. What I think
I hated every record that Alex the Kid produced. Let me just go on record and say that as well.
I'm not super familiar with that guy. So I don't know. One thing I didn't like on there, he had a song with Alicia Keys, and they just made her sound awful.
Or did Alicia Keys make herself sound awful?
Nah. The way her voice sounds, it doesn't even sound like Alicia Keys. Like, I had to look at my phone like, this Alicia Keys?
I said the same thing. I remember thinking like, okay, where's the Alicia Keys feature?
Yeah, like where I'm waiting for it. Where's it come? I was surprised by that Pink feature. That wasn't what I thought it was going to be.
Yeah, very true.
I think towards the end of the album, that's when he started, like I said, living his truth, and the temperament of the album kind of changed.
Well, I knew that the Pink feature was going to at least be tolerable because of Won't Back Down. But I would say that definitely, I won't say exceeded my expectations, but it definitely didn't disappoint my expectations.
One thing I did not like, I hated this shit. I think it was not, because I didn't start it with the Beyonce track. I started it, I think, with Untouchable.
No, I skipped both of those.
Because I hadn't heard Untouchable, so that's why I started it there. He started rapping like, it sounded like he was trying to rap like a trap artist.
Yeah.
The first, I want to say, after that Beyonce track, like the first two tracks after that, he was rapping like a trap artist.
He had one of the records, I can't remember what the fuck it's called, but one of the records, the nigga had the Migos flow.
Yeah.
And I was not feeling that.
Yeah, I did not like that.
Because I'm like, M rarely sounds like a white boy on these records, but he sounded like a white boy on that record.
It was a point at the beginning of the album where I'm driving when I'm listening to this, and I hit pause. I'm like, if this shit is this bad the entire album, I'm about to tear M's ass up
I was like, no.
Yeah.
No,
And I press play,
that's not you.
And it got better from those songs, but if I had to grade this album on a scale from 1 to 10, 1 being this trash, dumpster juice, and 10 being the greatest album ever, this album is a 5.
It gets
if not a hard 4.
It gets a D from me.
That's where a D would be, right?
On a grade, I guess a D would technically be like a 3.
Well, yeah, I guess
D minus
because a C would be a 5, right?
Yeah, D minus would be a 2, and of course an F would be a 1. So it gets a D from me. I know they say C's get degrees, but this just wasn't.
Shit, D's make you pass.
Shit. In high school, definitely.
Hell yeah.
College,
Spanish
they send that ass right back like, yo, you thought. But nah, man, it wasn't passable to me. I felt like we waited too long, and we got a lot of trash music in between Marshall Mathers LP 2 and Revival. Granted, Marshall Mathers LP 2 wasn't a good album.
It was not. It had a handful of tracks, but I don't think we got any music album-wise from M. I mean, we got Verses, which he's killed, but from Marshall Mathers LP to now.
Right, but that's what I'm saying. In between those two records, we had to deal with a lot of bullshit.
Oh, you're talking about from other artists?
From other artists,
gotcha.
No, not M. M, with M, he drops an album and then he goes into his, dark shadows and just disappears for a while, comes back with beards and shit. But I feel like to not have that much music, like, again, I hate to keep comparing the two, but let's go back to Jay-Z. From Magna Carta to 444, there was a lot of trash music in between them because, of course, it was the same time frame from Marshall Mathers 2 to Revival.
Right.
There's a lot of trash in between then. And Jay knew he didn't give his all to Magna Carta. And then he came with 444 and was like, okay, y'all want some hip-hop? I'm going to give y'all some hip-hop, and I'm going to make you think. I didn't expect to have a record to think with Eminem. I honestly didn't want a record to think with Eminem. I just wanted the gas. I wanted the flash.
And maybe that's why, again, we know why this album was bad, but maybe that also plays a part in it too. Because from M, we were expecting just the gas, and this is the most conscious M has ever been on the record.
Right.
You know what I mean? So maybe it sucks because it's coming from him.
You think so?
I think that plays a part in it because it's coming from him. Because nobody, like you said, a lot of people just want to hear you spit. We don't want to hear the you being conscious. You know what I mean? And I think that's part of the issue. I truly think that's part of the issue.
Yeah, I lost all hope for the record when he went into the Migos flow, and I was like, and that's where we are.
Yeah, yeah,
that's where we are with this album.
That was bad. Like, that was bad. And like I said, if you know me, you know I'm a huge M fan. Mm-hmm. That was bad. I was not happy about that at all.
As I always say, people, listen to yourself, formulate your own opinion. If you want to argue with me in the comments or argue with Kev in the comments, go ahead. We enjoy the friction. Or if you want to, if you're listening on iTunes, go ahead and comment. Shout out to the people that's been rating us on there. You ain't got to comment about the album. Just go ahead and comment about the show and go ahead and leave that good old 5 stars. Shameless plug.
Sidebar. I need to listen a little bit more Ed Sheeran. Like I heard that track and I was like, yo.
Ed Sheeran is a problem. I had that same feeling towards what's my man's name? Sam Smith.
No, I knew he was a problem. When he was big, and he came out with that.
And that's what I'm saying. I was enjoying his singles, but for some reason I just couldn't bring myself to listen to an entire album because I'm all like, it's the same way with Adele with me. Like I don't want to be in that kind of feeling and then listen to those songs just to give validity to my feelings. You know what I mean?
I understand.
It's just like Some Love Lost. You got to really be in a place to listen to that. It's either Some Love Lost or All. Which one had Original Love Shit 4? Ordinary Love Shit 4?
That one.
Was it All Love Lost?
Some Love Lost.
Well, either way, one of the Love Lost. You got to be in the mood for that. And that shit came out at the right time because I needed that isolation removed.
Right.
So to know that Joe knows exactly what I'm talking about, great. I haven't been in the mood that Adele and Sam Smith.
I get what you're saying.
Giving their albums.
I get what you're saying.
When I heard him on Carpool Karaoke with James Corden, I was like, and then they were doing karaoke to some of his records. I'm like, this nigga is talented.
Sam Smith?
Yeah.
Yeah, I heard him like I said, when he was big and he had to sing, I was like, okay, this guy can blow. But it was out of sight, out of mind for me. You know what I mean? It was like, oh, I forgot about this guy. But he's immensely talented.
Completely.
With Ed Sheeran, I knew he was talented when I heard him did that Tory Lanez cover. I was like, yeah, he's nice. But it was the same thing. It was an out of sight, out of mind thing. But after hearing him on his M, I was like, no, I'm going to pay attention to this nigga.
Ed Sheeran is one of those white boys that is a white boy through and through, but is immersed in hip-hop culture and in black culture in general. Like, I think
I have no problem with that. I have no problem with white people being that way. It's the issue becomes when they're trying to perpetrate or exactly they become that, or they're trying to use our culture to get ahead,
to benefit. The culture vultures, definitely.
Right? But then damn us for it.
Yeah,
those are the issues. But if you're white and you love the culture, I have no issues with that.
Exactly. No, I'm right there with him. I think that's why I rock with Ed Sheeran so tough because he doesn't even try to be hip and cool and stuff like that. That's just his style, and that's just the tone and the timbre that he has in his voice when he performs. Dude, Ed Sheeran is dope. Yeah. Ed Sheeran should actually be bigger than what he is right now. Even though he's pretty big, he should really be on some next level shit right now.
I agree with you on that. I definitely agree with you with that.
So again, if you want to check out Revival, go ahead, formulate your own opinion. Do whatever you got to do. But to me, it's a D. To Kev, it's a 4. Yeah. Almost a 3.
No, yeah. I can go with that. It's a 4.
Let's touch on Nelly real quick. So of course everybody knows that his accuser dropped the charges, and she just completely bowed out of everything. She didn't want to appear in court the whole 9. First it was because she just didn't want to testify. She eventually changed the story again, saying that Nelly's too big of an artist, and again,
too big of an artist as far as what? Too big of an artist
to win.
Okay.
Because I don't think she was going for jail time. She was going for that bag. When she realized, oh no, we're trying to put this nigga in jail, she was like, nah. I'd rather get the bag, which is why we're getting Nelly in Saudi Arabia with a bunch of men. But you look at all that shit, and it makes sense that Nelly is going to be, suing her. Well, he is suing her. He's definitely trying to catch her slipping. I bring that up to say, we've had the conversation on the show before. What happens? Like, what do we do when celebrities are put in these kind of situations? You know, they're being deemed as rapists and, you know, just completely being demonized in the media. Like when Nelly shit came out, the next day they had a video of this nigga playing in an underage chick's hair. You know what I mean? So they were trying to make Nelly into this big fucking monster.
Right.
And then you find out the shit didn't happen, and it was just like, oh, okay, well, we're just moving on. Like the shit that Nelly went through during that time, that would break a normal person. That would break somebody new to the entertainment industry.
You're right. You're absolutely right.
So what happens like with these accusers? Like what happens?
Unfortunately, man, honestly, and I think that's probably, it's sad, but it comes with the territory. Nothing. I mean, yeah, you can sue and you can sue. You know, I mean, he can sue and probably try to recoup whatever money he lost or whatever the case was. But at the end of the day, nothing. I think it just comes with the territory. At the end of the day, he shouldn't have put himself in that situation. If there was a situation had, or she just bold-faced lie, you know. And I'm talking about the people that actually something went on, but they may have not been involved or something like that. It just comes with the territory. I don't think I can think of, man. It comes with being a celebrity. You better sue her and hope it works out for you.
That's the hope. But it's like, if she was trying to extort you, what are you gonna get from her?
You're right.
He making a solid ass bologna sandwich and a high five.
You're right. But I think what happens when you sue somebody that ain't got no money? Doesn't like the city or whatever pay the person that won, and then you got to pay the city back or some shit like that? It's
either that or they I think they garnish checks the same way
something.
They do with,
it's something. I mean, he'll
support.
If he wins, he'll get money. It just won't be in the traditional. She wrote me a check. Right. Shit, sue her and go about it that way, man. I don't know if his image took that much of a hit for the listener, the people that are familiar with him. Maybe to the liberal white people, it probably did, but he's not playing music for them anyway, so it really doesn't matter. Like I said, it comes with the territory, man. You keep pushing. It's sad, you keep pushing, but what else can you do?
And you know, you look at everything that's going on, man, and it sucks because we just found out that they be letting black people in the locker room with alleged. That's to me, that's going to still be alleged until it happens. Allegedly. Well, I was going to call this nigga Russell Westbrook, Russell Simmons, Warren Sapp, Donovan McNabb, like all the shit that Tavis fucking Smiley, bro.
Man,
like what?
Man, I will say, and you can call it what you want. When the people came out and said Russell raped them, that I was like, now wait a minute. Now if there was like sexual harassment or sexual misconduct, whatever they want to get, I can probably rock with that. Mm-hmm. Even though I don't know the man, is Russell Simmons raped me. That sounds a little off to me.
And it's something that we talk about on the show. Like, Russell Simmons was heavily into drugs back then. So he probably kicked it with motherfuckers that was heavily into drugs. And when you're doing the drugs that they were doing, you're liable to do some freak shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So when Russell was like, everything she said that happened is true, except the rape part. Everything was consensual. That's why I'm more so on a... So did it really happen, or like what's the case? So his I'm a little more skeptical about, but like Tavis and Warren Sapp.
Well, Tavis denying his. He's saying none of that shit happened.
Tavis is denying his, but at the same time, there's like a lot of fucking evidence against him too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Warren Sapp and then fucking Donovan McNabb. He was like, you can get fired for asking a girl if you could squirt. I'm just like, yes. At work.
You can't do that.
You can't do that, bro. And then, of course, you know, Warren Sapp, we've been hearing stuff about Warren Sapp for years.
Yeah.
So it's like, with them.
I'm starting to think, man, it's a generational thing. Everybody that has came out in 2017, with the exception of like Warren Sapp and a couple of the newly, I don't say newly, but the people that we've seen retire football-wise, they're all within the same generation.
Yeah, they're all in the same generation.
It has to be a generation thing.
But you know what, though?
The question is, if it is a generational thing, is this a learned habit like racism? Because if it is, that means it's probably going to continue.
The respect for women is definitely a learned habit. I will for
think
sure
so?
say that. Yeah, because again, I look at how we grew up. We grew up on bitches ain't shit. You know
You're
what I
right.
mean? As far as black men, we grew up not like it's already like, all right, well, she's a woman, but she's also a bitch. You know what I'm saying? That's how we grew up. It took us to get older and realize the fault in that mindset,
Right,
and then
right.
move different. You know what I'm saying? In these current situations, and this is actually a good segue into the next conversation because I'm so tired of this weekly guess who's a rapist now. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm sick of it too.
But just as a good segue to the next conversation, Kev Hart said in his interview with the Breakfast Club where he was talking about cheating on his girl, he said in the interview like it was me. Oh, this is me paraphrasing, but it was me flexing. Like I knew I could do it. You know, I was in Vegas, so I fucked and got caught slipping. I think that's what a lot of these dudes' mindsets are. Like they know they have the power. Mm-hmm. They know they could be with anybody that they want to. They know they could buy anything that they want to. They know that they are like the head honcho of whatever the fuck is going on at the time. And you can't tell somebody like that no. Because they're so used to hearing yes. They're so used to hearing this is yours. That when you finally do hit them with that no, it's like, wait, what? No. That's a foreign word to me. I'm speaking French right now. No. I'm going to take that pussy for sure.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's just, again, it's a shitty locker room, man. And it's scary, dude, because, you know, one of the dudes I watch on YouTube, he had to step down from his company because he was asking girls for titty pictures. Like, he was asking a lot of women for titty pictures.
At work?
I don't know if it was at work. I can't remember the whole story.
No.
But some girls came out and was like, you know, he pressured me into sending pictures, and she like released like the text messages, and this nigga was going in trying to get some pictures.
No. I got two things with that. Now, when you say pressured, is it like, listen, I need this titty pic, or you ain't gonna get this job, or is this every hour? So what's up with that titty pic?
It was like every maybe like 5 or 10 minutes.
He was like, what?
He would reference back to it. Like she turned him down, and then he was like, "How old are you?" And then she said how old she was. He was like, "Holy shit, I'm 10 years older than you." And then she said something. He was like, "No, that just means your boobs are probably perfect and yada yada
So
yada."
he circled right back.
He circled
now,
right back to the titty pics.
Now, I will say if she's saying no, bruh, then that's the end of it.
Right.
Now, with that, you said you don't know if this stuff happened at work. Is it a crime if you if you asking randoms or women you know for titty pics?
Okay, so let's just understand this is Hollywood Kev saying
No,
that.
I'm asking a general
This is
question
Big Love's talk.
because I think we've all probably asked for a titty pic once or twice. Now,
is it a crime?
Is that a crime?
Is it a crime? No, but when it's excessive, it's abuse.
So excessive is the issue, not the fact that he did it, but he excessively did it.
Excessively did it. Yes.
Okay.
So that's when it goes from I want to see your titties to show me your titties. You know what I mean?
What's up with them titties, though?
Exactly.
You
So
gonna whip one of them things out?
once it got to the excessive point, and now you're uncomfortable, and you feel pressure. Like, okay, maybe I should just do it so that way he could just leave
So
me
why
alone
don't these
about it.
women just like block this person?
Honestly, I can't even answer that. I've
Now,
never
when
been
I say
pressured to see
that
my
again,
titties.
I'm not victim shaming nobody, but the trend that I am seeing with these stories is women aren't using a lot of the same power that they have when it's coming to like a text game. Now, I get it if you're in a room with someone, they may be physically opposing to you. You know what I mean? I get that wholeheartedly. But in a situation like this, block him and keep pushing. What's the issue?
Well, apparently they were like friends beforehand.
Block him and keep pushing. If obviously they couldn't be too much of a friends if he asked for a titty pic and you told him no, and then he's circling them back and you told him no. Obviously he doesn't value your friendship. If you're continuously telling him no and he's pushed, so block him and keep pushing. That's the reoccurring theme that I'm noticing with some of these cases is women aren't doing the obvious in taking the high route out of that situation. You know what I mean? Now, situations like Matt Lauer where he hit the little button and you stuck in a room. Unfortunately, unfortunately you're stuck. But in cases like this, block him. Keep pushing.
I look at that the exact same way that I look at why are people waiting 20 plus years to come out about the stuff. I think it all comes down to having the confidence to actually speak out about it. And again, the window is open now. Mm-hmm. Now that the window is open, everyone is getting exposed.
Los, if it comes out in 6-7 years, man, that you didn't sexually misconduct somebody, we gonna have an issue. We gonna have a huge fucking issue.
Like I've been telling him, I'm like, hey, if I did something you ain't like, let me know. Definitely
let me know now while I'm broke.
But you know, and it's crazy because I was talking to Muda about this the other day too. I was like, man, if you ever slapped a chick on the ass, signed a boob, whatever the case is, be easy because they're gonna catch your ass. They're definitely gonna come for you.
I'm just making sure, man. Nah.
I've heard some things already, brother.
First of all, you ain't heard shit. That's first and foremost. I'm washed, dog. I don't do shit. I sat in the house. I sat in the house and watched Saturday Night Live.
But you were a basketball player. What are you talking about? They were cheerleaders
in my youth. Okay. That has nothing to do with my adult life.
Russell Simmons was, you know, him and my man's the director. They were young.
He was a pussy crabbing jug addict. That's different. That's different.
He said that's where we defer.
That's a little different.
Oh wow!
So you won't hear nothing about me, not. And if it is, it's completely false.
Yeah, I was about to say like it's a good chance false. People will hear something about us, but it's false.
It's
definitely false. Last subject, and we can get up out of here. Kevin Hart, like I was talking about, he gave an explanation why he did what he did to his wife.
I thought his interview was solid.
I thought it was a solid ass interview. I thought it was very well explained. I thought he did better as far as accepting that responsibility, because you know a lot of cats, they'll try to finesse it and play the victim card.
Nah,
he said straight up, he said there's nothing to explain. I fucked up.
Yeah,
I made a bad decision. I apologize. You know, he
even apologized to us for disappointing.
Right.
Us.
So you know, and to me, I'm like, that was very big of him, because you don't get a lot of celebrities that do that. They just quietly move on. You know, and when they do get asked about the infidelity, it's like, you know, it's whatever. Yeah. You know, but one thing that pisses me off about the situation is people have been vying for Kevin Hart to explain his actions, explain why he did it. But it's like, whether he explains it or not, and this is perfect evidence to see the fact, whether he explains it or not, that's not going to change anything. So why even explain it?
First, yeah, you're right. Why even explain it? I'm gonna go in an interview. I thought it was well because he explained what happened. He said he fucked up. And he let us know that shit ain't all peaches and cream at home. He let us know that there be some times, you know what I mean? I thought that was real. I figure if for the men that are still in a relationship with the woman that they cheated with, they probably can relate to that a lot better than I can. I thought it was a solid interview. I thought it was well put together. My issue with same along the lines as yours is people got mad that he apologized. And I mean like people, he said the only issue that he has is when people like were calling his current wife, a homewrecker and so on and so forth. He said that stems from his ex-wife putting that narrative out there. He explained that his current wife had nothing to do, wasn't even in the picture when he was cheating on his first wife. She had nothing to do with that. So that's where he said he had an issue with, and I can understand that. People, I seen a tweet where somebody was like, Kevin Hart mad that we calling him homewrecker, or his wife a homewrecker. He shouldn't have cheated in. I'm like, what? That has nothing to do with nothing. It's just people thrive off negativity. Like, y'all mad at this man for being honest about his faults? Y'all with Tyrone right now, he kicked your ass every Monday.
Oh, yeah. Oh, no, yeah. You've hurt people find joy in hurt people's hurt. And another thing with that, with Kevin Hart coming out and apologizing now, I understand Jennifer Hudson isn't on Kevin Hart's celebrity status. But when they found out that she was cheating on her husband, on her boyfriend,
I think they was married.
No, they weren't married. They were engaged for 10 years. When she was cheating on her boyfriend with Molly Music, who's a gospel producer, super duper Christian. So that you would think it'd be some more outrage behind it, because I'm like, nigga, you stole a nigga's girl. But anyway, cheating on her husband with him, everyone was just dragging David Otunga, or Punk, however you know him, dragging him through the mud. Like, that's what his ass get. Staying engaged for 10 years, yada, yada. And then when it came out that it was Jennifer Hudson's idea to be engaged this entire time, all conversation ceased. So it's like, why didn't anybody question, okay, maybe they were engaged for 10 years because she was just constantly fucking with other niggas and getting caught. Like, no, none of these stories come out. Like, I don't understand, why is the narrative different because it's a man versus a woman.
You do understand why the narrative
I
is
do,
different.
but I'm just putting this shit out there. I'm trying to open up the window for conversation and comments, Kevin.
You do understand, goddammit. I agree with you. I agree with you with that. When it comes to stuff like that, we got to stop that type of double standard. If you're going to drag me for cheating on my girl, then drag her for cheating on me. Simple and plain. Or don't drag none of us. At the end of the day, it's not your relationship.
I'm about to say, that's what it should be. Don't drag anybody because it's not yours.
It's not your relationship.
As soon as somebody put your relationship on Facebook, if people start dragging you for staying with a nigga for whooping your ass or staying with a chick that was cheating on you, as soon as that shit starts happening, you're on your status. Why y'all all in my life? Why y'all worried about what I'm doing? So I'm like, let these motherfuckers live their life. They still human. They just human with money.
That's it.
That's literally it.
That's it. He just human with a cool ass job.
He has a great check every week. that's the only difference. He gets a check every other week, just like your ass do.
At the end of the day, got the same faults as us.
So now you probably get a check a lot more often than what we do.
Well, yeah. But again, at the end of the day, they got the same faults as us. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? They go to the bathroom just like we do.
They pump the same blood.
You know what I mean? So I don't understand why people are so, what's the word? Involved in other people's other people's relationships, especially these celebrities, and feel some kind of way.
One thing I'm starting to notice about social media, one thing I've actually been noticing about social media is people have so much shit going on in their lives that they're entertained by the drama in other people's lives, which is why it's always a constant conversation when someone's going through something. But when something good is happening, when something big is happening, it gets no love. Prime example, not that many people know that Chance gave another $1 million to Chicago public schools.
I didn't know that.
Exactly. But you know Kevin Hart cheated on his girl. You know Kevin Hart apologized. And that's and I'm not saying that's a fault on your part.
No, I get what you're saying.
We're going off of what we're being told.
Right. I get what you're saying.
What's in conversation.
And it's crazy. I didn't even think about this. It's funny you put it that way, and that probably lets you know who the person is too. And it's funny you say that too, because I sit there and I think about the stuff that I like to do. I don't like to watch a lot of that drama shit. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? A lot of, even the TV shows I watch, you know how some people they're heavy into reality shows. Cool. You like that drama. I wouldn't watch something like that because I don't want to see nobody go through that shit.
But if you do, make sure you tune into reality TV every Wednesday.
Yes, if you fucks with that, then you need to fucks with this show. Yes, that
they'll be on iHeart Radio soon as well. Yeah. So shout out to them.
I'm just using that example, or just in general, just seeing drama. That's why I'll watch something like I watch something that got to do with zombies, or watch something that, because it's far fetched. You know what I mean? I'd rather use that as my escape than watching somebody else struggle or go dealing with infidelity or dealing with drug addiction. You know what I mean? That's already real life. I don't need that extra.
But you know what's so crazy? Because all of that is real life. Even the watching someone struggle. Like, you look at it. When I used to work at Capital One, when I used to work in the collections department, there was this one girl who just stayed in everybody's business. Stayed in everybody's business. He used to go, do you know exactly what I'm talking about?
That's why I'm laughing.
Tripping. It's a long damn day. Anyway, but old girl was staying in everybody's business, but then you found out her dude was fucking everybody.
Yeah,
her dude was putting his hands on her. So it's like you're trying to sway people away from what you got going on because your story is fucked up. But as soon as your story becomes the story, it's an issue now.
Maybe that's people's way of living vicariously through other people.
Then that's bullshit. So you got your own drama going on. Talk about your own shit.
Well, you're absolutely right. But I say that to say, like, let's say a chick,
and they don't be the people that play victims so quick.
Yeah,
too.
You're right. Let's say a chick is getting smacked around.
Mm-hmm.
She don't do nothing about it. Make excuses, whatever the case is. But the other chick that gets smacked around, you should whoop that nigga's ass. You should do. That's her way of living vicariously because she's not going to do it in her own thing. The same shouldn't be that way.
The same ones that be like, leave that nigga alone, or the same ones still dealing with a cat, fucking them over. The same dudes that be like, you need to go ahead and just, like just let that bitch live, or whatever the case is.
Be trying to fuck your broad.
Yeah. So it's like
it's a cold world.
It's a cold ass world, man. Me and Kevin here dropping gems. Y'all better get these motherfucking diamonds. But no, that's just real shit, man. Like, people, and this is me circling back around to Kevin Hart. If people just worry about what the fuck they have going on and not worry about what everyone else is so concerned about, because again, you see it all the time on social media. A motherfucker will post something you know, that somebody disagree with, then they hop on that comment and they now they're Facebook arguing. But then the same person that hopped on that comment posts something nobody agrees with, and somebody comments on that. First of all, this is my page, so I can put whatever I want to on my page.
Right.
Like,
Yeah, I see that too often.
Like, yo, do you not see the hypocrisy in what you're doing?
One thing that Kevin Hart did in that interview, man, that even though it was like one of those blatant things, I like that he did. He picked up the phone. He was like, "This shit ain't real."
Right.
You know what I mean? He went on a tangent to talk about why that shit ain't real. And I think people get so consumed with social media that becomes their reality, and they need to dial it back. Like, that shit ain't real.
Another thing he said in that comment is that trolls. He said you go to these people's pages and it's either an egg or it's a picture of a street sign or something. You know what I mean? Like, it's low key their job to go on there and just bully people.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And trolling has become so popular that
you can be I don't want to say that nigga, but that nigga for trolling.
Yeah, exactly. Like, and it'd be cats. Trolls will make you internet famous, and it's never for a good reason.
Yeah.
Never for a good reason.
Yeah.
But
I'm waiting on the day that happens to me.
no, it's gonna happen.
I'm waiting on the day.
We're probably gonna get trolled after this episode because I'm pretty sure we made a bunch of unpopular opinions in this episode.
I'm waiting for the day that. All I know is they can't see me from the show, just so it don't matter.
At the end of the day, no, you know it's funny. And shout out to my boy Calvin, aka Junior the Truth. He has a sports podcast. Definitely check him out too. But he told a story on his YouTube channel talking about he had a troll. Somebody would comment on every one of his videos, just talking hella shit, like hella shit. So Cal was like, all right, you want to see how internet really get down? Cal found this man's full name, what school he went to, and where he lived. He sent dude a message, a screenshot of his house. He said, stop acting like you're untouchable.
That's
all he said. He said he hasn't trolled me since.
Yes, that's some shit I do. That's some shit I do. Find the resources, and that's some shit I do. Hell, I think if people start doing that more often, probably wouldn't have so many trolls out there.
Yeah, because people be forgetting, like, you can not put your information on there, you can do all this stuff, but that satellite is always working. So all you got to do is pinpoint where that motherfucker posts from, and it's like, oh, okay, 30, okay, cool.
If you're tech savvy, if you're computer, I don't want to say tech, if you're computer savvy, you can find out.
And the crazy thing is, Big Cal ain't even tech savvy like that. But he still was able to do the proper investigation to get this man's Facebook page, his address, his phone number, his parents' name, and a picture of his goddamn house. That's you are the GOAT.
Yeah, that's G shit. I know when the Kevin Hart shit popped off, I said I was disappointed.
I was too. We said on the show, I said, please don't let that shit be true.
Yeah.
We kept saying it.
But again, I'm glad he came out. Even though he didn't have to tell nobody shit. I'm glad he gave what the people wanted, even though they still wasn't happy with it.
And they're never going to be happy because drama is much more entertaining than.
And to be honest, man, and I love y'all. Believe me, I love y'all. But that's women, man.
I'm not touching that one.
You don't have to. You don't have to, because with them, they're to me they're like the greatest beings on this planet. But they can do a lot of one-sided petty shit at times.
Yeah, this is true.
And this was one of those instances. Like, what else did you want him to do? The deed's already done. He already fucked the other broad. What else do you want him to do?
There's like a want for like an admission of being shitless and admitting that all men are shitless. I think that's the only thing that comes to mind.
I'll put it like this then. If that's the case, if that's the mindset of the masses, then it better be a lot more lesbians running around here. I tell you that.
Nah, not at all. I remember I saw this one Vegas group out here, and one of the posts was if the dick was whack, could you stay with a person if the sex was whack? And there was a lot of women commenting on like, hell no, what? No. I don't give a fuck who he is, yada yada. If the sex whack, that's yada yada. A couple days later, there was a post saying, show me one heterosexual man that if sex was eliminated from the equation, like fully, like y'all was just an abstinent couple even after marriage, would you still be in a relationship? And women were going hard on niggas, like going in. And I was sitting there like, but didn't y'all just say a couple days ago that if the sex is whack, you'll bounce? So you telling me you're cool with no sex at all, but whack sex, that's where I cut off. That's where I check out.
Yeah. Again, that's one of those one-sided things that got to stop.
Let's just do better at it. That's all I got to say. Kev, let the people know where they can find you.
Underscore Hollywood Kev, Twitter, underscore Hollywood Kev on Instagram. I'm trying to snap more. I just don't be going nowhere.
I ain't been on Snap in so long, bro.
But for that one, it's Hollywood Kev, but the E in Kev is a 3.
At Big Los UTC, Big Los IG. Of course, follow all of our social media pages for Beat at B_Network on Twitter, at B Network on Instagram, and of course B Network 1, Facebook.com/B Network 1. Of course, with the Noize, at the Noize Podcast on all the social media sites. And of course, don't forget, we are doing the All I Want for Christmas giveaway. You will get a Unfiltered, Unapologetic Noize shirt. You will get a Noize 90 shirt, and you will get a Noize coffee mug. Upload a video, post a picture, or just write a simple status, and you got to at the Noize Podcast. You said what now?
I'm not gonna say how. You almost caught me. You almost caught me.
You almost called me slipping.
Yeah. Carry on.
All right, so other than that, as always, we appreciate you guys tuning in. As always, we appreciate your support. And as always, it's Big Los.
Hollywood Kev.
It's the Noize.